Please watch two snippets from my video titled Cube to Sphere, Kingdom of God is Within You, a layman's soliloquy on life and evolution. I am 42 Saga. In these short snippets, I have used one diagram showing the tree of life. Please watch them. I will explain later. Tree of life, 10 raised to 4, 8, 32, 64, 1. So if you add up 4, 8, 32 and 64, you will get 108. So that is Yalva's energy. And here you have, in the tree of knowledge, you have, in the tree of knowledge, you have 8, 16, 32, 64, which add up to 120. That is the energy of the Metatron. As we can now, I think, of life. I'm sorry, I should have mentioned the tree of life to begin with. Yeah, so this is the tree of life, and here you can see the dot was the 0th level, and then you have the line, then you have the half square, you have full square when it comes to the Pascal's third level, and fourth square is a perfect cube. These are all my new material. It is not life, it is not material. And the fifth one is the pentagon. Pentagon is the life, the low form. In fact, as I have already told you, the pentagon is the low form of life. It is the Yaldabaoth, symbol of Yaldabaoth himself. He created creatures like him, and basically, let us go. The tree of life. Okay, so in tree of life, I have used. Let me show you what combination of energies I have used in the snippet. Uh, As we all see, we know that for sure that the internal angle of pentad is 108. Everyone, the internal angle of pentagon, which is the basic structure for pentad, is 108, right? So, in other terms, the energy of pentad is 10 raised to 108 according to my theory, right? I was racking my brain to come up with plausible combination of the 7 chakras, which total 108, and the one combination I came up with was the one I used in the above mentioned slide. Just now I have shown you two short video clips showing this structure, this very structure, chakra planet structure. You might be used to my kind of explanation by now. The crown chakra representing Neptune, 10 raised to 64, 13541, throat Jupiter, 10 raised to 32, 121, solar plex Earth, 10 raised to 8, 11, sacral Venus, 10 raised to 4, 1, total energy being 108. No heart chakra, no root chakra. This was basically wrong, I should admit. It was somehow I was trying to come up with the figure 108, energy, a total of 108, but later I realized that this structure is not correct one, and uh, let me explain about the other thing. But later it dawned upon me that the branching of tree of knowledge and life started Saturn itself, and I remembered having read about the creation of Prince Enki of Orion. Here I need to tell you about the Sumerian story of Genesis. You see, uh, Whenever we refer to Genesis chapter of the Bible, it is, you may be surprised to find that it is a straight lift from the Sumerian texts. The Sumerian texts, the very same story of Genesis is clearly explained in the Sumerian texts. We found some clay tablets. In those clay tablets, the story of Genesis is clearly depicted with figures, including figures. So, according to the Sumerian mythology, there is a sky god Anu. There is the Queen of Orion. There is one Anu's son Enlil, and a stepson of Anu, who is the son of the Queen of Orion, is Enki. And Enki is known as Lucifer in Christian, Judeo-Christian mythology. He is known as Shiva in Hindu mythology. We all know that Shiva is predicted. Shiva is shown as an androgynous creature, meaning he has both parts of male and female. That's what the Shiva Linga represents, in fact, in Hindu mythology. So, Enki is equivalent of Shiva in what do you call Sumerian mythology. So, this Enki, Prince of Orion, it was actually created by the Queen Mother herself before she married Anu, the sky god. Okay, so all this, I am taking this mostly the basis for my explanation lies in Wes Penra papers. Wes Penra is a guy who has come up with so many papers on the evolution and the genesis of mankind. So he, while explaining the wars of Orion, he mentions that the Queen of Orion made Enki purely out of egg. I mean, that is, uh, it is our general common knowledge that we need the female egg from the female and semen from the male to fertilize the egg, and then only the zygote forms and the child develops, the embryo develops, and then you will have the birth, and then the child grows to be an adult. But it seems in the days of the primordial creation, time of primordial creation, the Queen of Orion could make a male child without uh, the involvement of male counterpart, that is the semen. Without semen, from egg itself, she could create a male. That's how it is described in the Vespenra papers, that the Enki was created from a unfertilized egg. So now it has this has a lot of similarities with the story of creation of Yaldabaoth in Apocryphon of John. In according to Apocryphon of John, the goddess of wisdom Sophia created Yaldabaoth without the knowledge of her counterpart, Jesus Christ, or the God Himself, the one or the monad. So, without the knowledge of monad, the goddess of wisdom, Sophia, gave birth to Yaldabaoth. That's what the Apocryphon of John says. So these two are very much similar stories. And according to Egyptian mythology also, the first of the deities, Atun, is supposed to be androgynous, and as well as he created on his own. And in Hindu terminology, we call this phenomena Swayambhu, meaning self-created. He created himself, and but the one small difference here is that Apocryphon says Sophia created him, and Sumerian texts say uh, Enki was created by Queen of Orion. So that's the only difference. But these are all, I think, if you put two and two together, we get four. That is, uh, these are all, according to me, parallel stories which refer to the same concept of the origin of human species, and of course, the pantheon of gods in Egyptian, Sumerian, Hindu, Christian mythologies. They're almost same. So anyway, so Queen Mother from created Enki from unfertilized egg, and he was androgynous. In fact, in a way, it exactly corresponds to the premature creation of Yaldabaoth by Sophia without her spouse's permission in apocryphal terms. So I think I have explained enough. Now let us go to next slide. So I did some more brainstorming and tried to come up with plausible combination of chakras. Here is what I came up with. Now I was all the while feeling guilty of basically coming up with my own combinations of energy to total up to 108. The one clue I had was the total energy is 108. That's for sure, because pentagon's internal angle is 108, so the energy must be 108. That one thing was sure. But the rest of the chakras, while adjusting the energy of the chakras to include to come up with this pentad energy, I had a great difficulty. But now, after, well, as I have discussed just now, after going through the mythology, I am sure this is how it should have looked. So please neglect the previous versions and use this as the authentic one. Here you can see what all we had in what all chakras we had in uh, tree of knowledge are also there here, but the only difference being for Saturn, the both the energy and the structure I have given differently. That is, the third eye chakra, which is Saturn's chakra, will now have 10 raised to 46, and the structure will be 10 cube, that is 1000, the thousand basically. Uh, so this basically differs from 1331. Regularly for Saturn, we have the number structure 1331, which is nothing but 11 cube. Here I have used 10 cube instead of 11 cube. So that's the only difference. Rest are all same. And if you look at the energy here, total energy, if you have 46 for the 1000, the structure of 1000, 1 3 10 raised to 3, 46 for the Saturn, 32 for Jupiter, 16 for the Mars, 8 for Earth, 4 for what do you call Venus, and 2 for Mercury, as usual. All the chakras are involved here. The only difference being Saturn has 46 instead of 64. So the split of the tree of knowledge and tree of life uh, starts at Saturn, not above Saturn. So Saturn is critical, and more according to most mythologies, Saturn is supposed to be both benevolent as well as, of course, evil, right? So the benevolent part of Saturn has energy of 64. The evil part of Saturn has 46 as the energy, as we can see now. So I did some more brainstorming and tried to come up with plausible combination of chakras. Here is what I came up with. Blah blah blah. It is with the very same thing as explained now, and yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to tell today. You may have. I hope you got the gist, the meaning of this whole thing. Yeah, but basically, you should note is that this very part, the energy of Saturn and the structure of Saturn are different here. And please, wherever I use this diagram, tree of life, please uh, have in mind this structure, not the 64 structure. Yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to clarify. Thank you. So, to summarize, this is the basically the structure I came up with for tree of life at last. And of course, there is something else I wanted to discuss. If you have observed the change carefully, you might have seen that I have changed the structure of Saturn to 1000 or 10 cube, and energy to 10 raised to 46, so that the total of all the chakras, uh, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32 and 46 will give 108, will come to 108. So it may surprise you, but all the while I have been insisting that 10 represents energy and 11 represents matter, in the sense uh, 10 is always energy, the powers of 11 are always matter, right? Matter integrates, energy squares. But here we observe one anomaly rather. So 10 raised to would then naturally represent 3. So 10 raised to 3 rather, it is 3 is missing here. 10 raised to 3 then naturally represents 3-dimensional energy. Sophia, in her curiosity, made him whom the yield bath from pure egg, that is 10 raised to 3. Generally, on the energy part, we have been saying that energy squares. It starts with string of 10 square, and it squares to 10 raised to 4, then 10 raised to 8, 16, 32. Like that, it goes on squaring. But here, on the matter side, cube is a cube in the sense that it has three dimensions, so it could as well be a matter in the sense it may not be the real matter such as the 11's power. Let's say 1331, 11 cube is 1331. Instead of 1331, we can as well use 1000, that is 10 cube, pure energy, but which has three dimensions. So that's what happened here. And this explains why Yalaba took an unexpected, random, unnatural, and odd shape, such as the head of a lion and the tail of a snake. Yalabat, as you know, is represented by face of a lion and body of a snake. So, next, let us go to the next slide. Sophia, in her curiosity, made him from pure egg alone, 10 raised to 3, instead of a fertilized egg, 11 raised to 3, that is, without contribution from her male counterpart. So, had a male participated in this creation, he would have contributed his 11's power. 11 is matter, so this 11's power is not there, so he became a energy creature, that too with a weird shape. This explains why Yaldabaoth took an unexpected, random, unnatural odd shape such as head of lion and snake, a tail of snake, which is also supposedly androgynous in nature. Actually, and Yaldabaoth is androgynous in nature. So is the Hindu god Shiva, and I don't know about the other mythologies, and of course, Atun was also androgynous, I think. But let us not go into details. So, all in all, this is how the tree of life looks like. It starts with 10 raised to 2, that is 8 tetrahedron, 10 raised to 4 octahedron, 10 raised to 8 cube, three-dimensional cube, 10 raised to 16 is icosahedron, 10 raised to 32 is a dodecahedron, 10 raised to 46 is a cube again. That's a cube, but it is not the well, till now, I have explained the changes I had to make to Tree of Life so that it will total up to 108. And now let us see how the basically the trees, both trees, Tree of Knowledge and Tree of Life, uh, differ and branch where they branch out, where what common parts they have, and how they differ. Okay, let's see. Let us start from here. This is the tetrahedron, as we know, 10 raised to 2. This is the octahedron, 10 raised to 4. As you can see, basically, this is the tree of life. This is the tree of knowledge. Okay, so the thing is, that is, the root chakra and sacral chakra are basically kind of the tail. They can be called the tail of the tree of life, or the roots of the tree of life. That means the tree of life starts with tetrahedron, octahedron, and then join the tree of knowledge at 10 raised to 8, that is earth. So the beings in Venus and Mercury will have tail, that is basically they belong to the life in the lower worlds is basically animal life. So the tree of life is looks like this. It begins with the tail here, the tail, and then the common parts start. The 10 raised to 8, that is what do you call the solar plex chakra, the heart chakra, the throat chakra. These three chakras are common for both. Uh, and and of course, yes, later here, when we reach here, let us say we have, you can see the total for these chakras: 2 plus 4 plus 8 plus 16 plus 32 plus 46, totaling up to 108 here for tree of life. And here 8 plus 16 plus 32 plus 64, totaling up to 120 for tree of knowledge. So when they reach, I mean, let us say we have even activated the chakra, throat chakra, and we are about to activate the uh, third eye chakra. This is called basically the BLA, meaning between the between life area. BLA means between life area. So you reach, when one dies, he will reach this area, his soul will be here, and from there the two trees branch out, in the sense the tree of life goes this way, all the way. This is nothing but Yaldabath. So the tree of life is like, starts here, it goes like this. So on the other hand, the tree of knowledge starts here, it goes like this, right? So this is called the BLA, that is the between life area. When you die, the soul will be here, and you will see light. You see, it's very common knowledge that, and many people who recorded their experiences in the near death experiences, they have all told only one thing: they saw some light, kind of light. So that light is, this Lucifer's light, which it'll be like a subway, rather mostly like a subway, having neon signs saying heaven this way, heaven this way. Okay, but while in reality this is the Saturn's what do you call, the third eye chakra. If you take this path of 10 raised to 46, only you have activated only 46 out of 64, as opposed to out of 64 here. Then this light invites you, seduces you to enter this circle again. This circle is Yaldabath's domain. Yaldabath is here. In fact, Osiris, who is equivalent of Yaldabath, is the god of dead. Whereas the sun, who is the god of living, is here. This circle, this is the basically sun's domain. This is Yaldabath's domain. If you enter Yaldabath's domain, you are bound to come back to this circle, which again, meaning this is the vicious, the shape of 8 that you see here is the vicious circle. And if you take by chance, after reaching the BLA, between life area, your soul takes this place, gets seduced by this guy and takes this route, then you will end up in an eternal vicious circle of life and death. Okay, on the other hand, if you are in luck and take this path is 10 raised to 64, that is 11 cube. If you have perfected the 11's third dimension, then you will enter the fourth dimension of 11, which is nothing but the Metatron, and thereby you graduate to you will eventually end up in heaven. So that's pretty much it. I think that's what I wanted to explain. So it's very important that you avoid this path and take this path to reach heaven. That is, if you want to go to heaven, then that is the path. And the basic difference between these two is they have only three chakras common: the solar plex, the heart, and the throat chakra. When you come to third eye chakra, then you got to be very careful. If you don't open that, activate it fully, you will end up here, and of course you will take this path again and come back to life, the circle, vicious circle of life and death. Be careful. Yeah, and that pretty much concludes my teaching today. Thank you.